Alrighty, viewers, welcome back to another episode of Your World. We just got finished filming episode number 2, where we were out in California and we were teaching you guys how to fish for stingray and what to do with them. So this video right here is video number 3 in our 4-part series about stingray, and we're going to be teaching you guys how to remove the wing from the body, how to fillet the wing because there's cartilage in between the wing, and then what to do with the rest of the body. This is going to be a really exciting video. There's a lot of education that goes on here, and in the end we're going to link you guys to our 4th video where we are going to actually turn this stingray into a meal that you are never going to forget. It is so delicious. Stingray is like a mixture between pulled pork and grilled chicken. It's so moist and so delicate that you are going to love this fish no matter how you prepare it. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you guys will leave a like. If you have any comments, I would love to hear them and respond to you guys. And definitely subscribe so that you can watch all the rest of these videos in this series. Thank you guys for supporting my channel. I hope that you guys have an awesome time watching this. Let's get right into the video.
Heads up, back up. Step on the blade. Alright, there we go.
He's gonna eat you.
Hard.
Yeah.
He's good to eat.
Look at the blood.
He's dead.
Dead? Yeah.
Yeah.
Killed it. Still.
That's nerves.
I wasn't here. So
Yeah, just taco.
Grill him up just the same way you would do like pork meat.
Don't touch the cut.
Grill him up, cover him in salt.
Oh, that's funny. Have you ever touched one?
Alright guys, here we are. We're at Oceanside Pier out in California, and we're going to take this rig and teach you how to clean it. So let's take this on down to the cleaning station and see what we can do to fillet it. So if you look at the fish, there's kind of a ridge that goes across the longitudinal? I don't know how you say that, but lengthwise, the fish, you can tell that it goes across, and that's where the meat is. So we're going to start cutting it from the back all the way across to here.
And there is that pocket of gut on each side.
This side.
Yeah.
So what's nice is you can just go all the way through. Alright. So what you got the wing, and because we cut it lengthwise, it left the entire gut cavity. So you don't have to cut through any of the guts, you don't have to cut through any of the nasty stuff. Leaves it everything attached, and you've got your beautiful wing. So now what we've got to deal with is in that piece of meat, there's cartilage along the inside of it. The entire wing is held together by cartilage. So we have to fillet that. But I think I'm going to start with the separate wing first. That way we have both. StingRay is not usable. So there's no more meat that's easy to get to throughout the rest of his body, and the entire inside is covered in its gut cavity. So we're done with this part. We're gonna get rid of it. So we can just toss this overboard. There's some fissures, so I'm gonna come on this side. All right, say goodbye. Long. Big old piece of meat. That's a lot of meat. That's about 2.5 pounds of meat. We're gonna teach you how to turn that into this beautiful StingRay fillet. And the end result is gonna be you having this big piece of cartilage. So something awesome about cartilage is that this thing is in the middle of the entire StingRay's wing. So it's right down the middle. They've got 2 huge pieces of meat sandwiched over this cartilage. Now, that's kind of like when you're filleting a normal fish, you're gonna have the rib cage that you have to clean and fillet your fish off of. So, as you can see right here, this fish is gonna get really skinny. You know, there's no meat on this. That's really, really thin. And so because of that, we're gonna go ahead and fillet the biggest, thickest part of meat rather than worry at all about that thin cut. So here you go, it's a beautiful result. Let's get started. All right, so here's the underbelly. Now what we're gonna wanna do is first wash your hands. You don't wanna be all sticky and goopy whenever you grab your knife. That causes a dangerous situation. Alright, now that we're all cleaned up, we've got a good station. We're going to start by trying to find, if you look closely, you can see the cartilage. It's a big white strip that goes down the middle of your 2 fillets. And we're going to find a location that we can start slicing on. And what we're doing is we've got our knife at, a pretty decently flat angle. And we're going right across the cartilage. Now what I'm doing is I'm trying to pull towards me for the most part, and that way the cuts, when you look at the meat, are all the same. So if you're looking closely, you can just kind of use your left hand, if you're right-handed of course, use your left hand to peel back the flesh, use your right hand to just gently cut through the flesh. Now, it might take you a while, especially on your first time doing a StingRay. The reason for that is all StingRays, whether you're a pro or a novice, if it's your first time cutting a StingRay, it is difficult. It takes time, especially if you're going to do it right. Nobody in the world, not even somebody who does this every day for a living, is going to be able to get a perfect cut every single time. And so, if you can imagine, however deep your knife can go is as deep as you're going to be able to pull back this flesh. Sorry for the odd camera movements. I know it's a little funky, but we're trying to keep the fish in the light. So what's going to happen is you're going to get around this edge and the meat gets really, really thin there. So we're just going to go ahead and chop it all the way up because it's going to cut on its thinnest portion, and that's going to help us get our clean triangle looking fillet. Now, there's just this little thin strip of meat hanging on with just this little flabby bit of skin. I'm going to go ahead and ride my knife upwards and try and cut it off. Alright, so as you can see, we are left with a good hunkin' piece of meat, and I would say that this is about a pound, maybe a little bit more of a pound of meat. And there's no bone in it, there's no cartilage on it, and it's really clean, really awesome piece of meat that you can do a lot of different things with. We're going to show you how to cook this thing in our next episode. So we're going to do it multiple different ways. We might even barbecue with barbecue sauce. So stay tuned for that. Now we're going to keep going. So as you can see, this was the underside of the StingRay. Now we can take this sucker and flip it over and do the exact same thing on the upper side. So like you can tell right here, there is a piece of cartilage. It's pretty thin, but it's very, very sturdy, that rides down the entire middle of this StingRay, all the way down to the tips of its wings. So we're going to do the same thing again. Actually, we're going to wash our hands and the knife because we're a little bit goopy. So here we go. We're going to find the cartilage again. Run the knife cleanly down the cartilage. So what I'm doing right here is I'm going to create a little incision, and that's going to make it easier for me to peel back my meat off of the cartilage. Stuff, you can just throw it over.
Got a little 10-inch. That was funny. Thwap.
Oh man, so right there we experienced a little bit of technical difficulty. We lost the last few minutes of our episode, and I don't know if it was because of battery loss or because of memory card issues, but we don't have the last few minutes of what we had recorded for you guys. And so I just want to explain to you real quick what we did, because it's a huge step in this process. We took our StingRay after it had been filleted and cleaned in water. You always wash it off at that station, and then you throw it into a bag with ice, and then you pour like half a gallon of milk onto it. So that might sound strange to you guys if you're other fishers, because you never throw milk onto your fish. It's just not something you have to do. But with StingRay, their skin has ammonia in it. And if you leave it for a day or 2 days or a week or something, depending on when you're actually going to eat this animal, it's gonna end up tasting like ammonia the longer you let it sit. But if you add milk to it, there's a chemical reaction that happens, and it sucks out the ammonia and it leaves it without any flavor at all. It's an amazing process. And so you want to make sure that you remember to add the milk into the bag with your ice. And after leaving it overnight or for however long you're going to, it's going to make your fish taste amazing. So it's then going to be ready and completely set for you to cook it however you want to. Alrighty guys, thank you so much for being a part of this awesome process. But don't leave just yet, because we have one more episode for you. And that's episode number 4 of this 4-part series about StingRay. And we're going to be teaching you guys how to actually cook this StingRay. Now there's tons and tons and tons of ways that you can cook this StingRay, whether it's in a soup or pan-seared or baked, deep-fried, grilled, thrown into some tacos. However you want to do it, you can cook this fish because it's so diverse. It's beautiful white flesh, and it sucks up all the flavor of whatever you throw onto it. So we're going to be teaching you guys in this last episode what to do with your fish. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that this has been educational for you, and I hope that it helps you to experience your world just a little bit better.